Engineer or doctor, two professions loved and adored by the society. It's been loved so much that it sometimes becomes a burden for the teen to learn as his passions lie somewhere else. But society doesn't give a chance for other professions or passions as the Indian society is designed in a way to give top importance to only those two professions. In fact, it has given so much importance to those two professions that it's even impossible to get a job in that field unless you're number one. Hence, making the common student wonder why do we always have to choose between being a doctor or an engineer? Why should society label or make unique personalities into something which exists in abundance? Why isn't my dreams also given a shot rather than being forced to become a doctor or engineer? Why isn't there any equality of profession? Hence, making equality of profession a dream to give every dream a chance. The true definition of profession is a vocation upon specialized educational training. In other words, a profession is defined by the field of education you take or you specialize in. But with the ever-present trend of being an engineer or doctor due to his respectable reputation, teens are forced and pressurized to take the science stream or else their own family will name and parade them as a black sheep, which makes the society to scrutinize and criticize them for not achieving or choosing the science stream. They even sometimes label them to be not as smart as the teens who choose or achieve science, hence making this a social problem. This problem can only be combated if there is an introduction of equality of profession, which makes everyone to have a shot at their own dream without the danger of being an outcast from society. But to combat this, we should understand its origins and the reason why only engineering and medicine are considered to be respectable positions according to the society. Hence, we decided to interview Mary Thomas. Having over 30 years of teaching in various countries, Mary Thomas has existed in the era when this movement of selecting between an engineer and a doctor has been at its strongest. She also has helped many teens to choose their own careers without losing their passion, hence making her the ideal candidate for our interview. Why is the profession of being an engineer or doctor still forced onto the younger generation when there are more diverse fields out there?
See, a decade or more than that before, all those who pass out as an engineer used to get a good job. Because there was a IT, boom that time. For example, like my son who passed out in '94, he was immediately offered a job and 12,500 rupees salary. At that time, it was supposed to be very highly motivating thing. So many others in the family followed him. And you have dozens of engineers in our own family. I mean, we were among his cousins and nephews, because they all found that such a nice salary. And that, of course, the salary is not important, but at that time it was something grand.
Right.
So like that, now everybody thought, having an engineer, his job is going to do, and then they had a marriage market, they had a value, and the society, they had a value, and it's a white collar job, they always tip top, they walk around tip top.
Right.
And many of them got big cars, and all, all kinds of modern equipments.
Right.
So it attracted the other younger ones, without realizing that they are not, whether they are fit for it or not. That's what happened. So I think that lifestyle that attracted people.
Okay.
Because then came these coaching centers.
Right.
So anyone can after 2 or 3 years of trial can get into an engineering college.
Right.
If not, they can go to a private college.
Right.
So getting a degree engineer, passing out as an engineer was actually the aim. But I understand there are so many who are not fit to get a proper job.
But they are also
They are not worth much. They don't get, and they don't have the passion.
Right.
To be an engineer, or especially any field as an engineer, he should be passionate about his work.
Right.
Is the choice. But this is actually, parents push them to the coaching center, and then they go there I have come across many of them, that's what I'm telling. I've experienced people without job after 5 years, now working for 10,000, 20,000 like that, and then struggling. So that is the problem actually. Is the society demanding something from them, and the children looking at others and trying to put up a lifestyle that is better.
Right, they're trying to follow an example.
One is parents are actually
Right.
motivating them,
Right.
spending money for the what you call the coaching and all kinds of them.
Right.
And those who go for coaching, the parents will do everything for them. They sit with them, this
Right,
make
right,
all kinds of arrangements. They sacrifice a lot,
Yeah.
and then they also have to study.
Hmm.
But actually, we should have a competitive examination. Actually, not based like engineering alone.
Hmm.
There should be an examination to choose a profession.
Right, right,
And for our professions,
Right.
I think there was a time people used to be said well, now you are eligible for this or that,
Hmm.
but that choice should be there. By the time you finish +2,
Hmm.
there should be actually an evaluation should be done whether they are eligible or not.
Right, right, right.
Now the +2 and all kinds of education is this thing, they ignore it and then go for coaching
Right.
and then
turn
get
over to
into
an
it.
engineer or doctor.
Engineer.
Right.
Even doctors also the same thing.
Right.
So I think the society's demand and their ignorance about the future.
Right, right, right. Okay. So, why is engineering and doctor in the society known as respectable jobs while the others not?
See, others, mostly an engineer, of course, he like targets, but others, those who are working in private field,
Right, right.
they have targets, they are being pushed around,
Yes.
they are being controlled by, in the case of an engineer, if you don't like a job, you can get out and go.
Right.
You can be anywhere in India, you can resign and start another job in another
Yes.
company.
Yes.
But other professions, you don't have that. That
Okay.
choice. Once you are a teacher, you are a teacher. Once you are, say, for example, once you are an architect, you are an architect. Of course, you can work,
Yeah.
But any such job, like sales or marketing, business, all these things, there is a lot of risk involved.
Right, right, yeah, of course, entrepreneurship is
So now people are looking for salaried job.
Right.
They want to get something, so there is no fixed, in finances and all, you have a lot of targets to cover, and there's a lot of tension.
Right.
Even if you are working in a bank also, I think, you have a lot of tension nowadays.
Right, 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 right. Yes, true.
So they compare that with, you have to compare that with this one. This you have a choice of a company if you want.
Right.
You can drop the company anytime.
Right.
If doctors also same thing. If you don't like the hospital, you can go somewhere else.
True, true, true. Doctors, yeah.
And then these people have another chances, they have a chance to go overseas to study or to do better. So many have gone to the States.
Alright.
After passing, they go for MS, they work there, of course they do well. And doctors, they've gone to European countries, so many hundreds of Indians have gone to the European countries, in UK, in Germany, in France and so on. So what happens is, they are comparing, even local people are seeing them also coming back, so grand and so great.
Right.
That is about the doctors actually.
Okay.
So these two engineers, the salary, and they get.
They get to be flexible with salary.
Salary. I mean, comparatively, the salary is very high.
Very high.
Compared to others.
True.
So, for example, I have a daughter who is in central government officer.
Right.
My son, who is a private, an engineering graduate.
Okay.
Of course, with the what you call it, MP. He did his post-graduation and all. But his salary will be many times more than hers.
Yeah, I can understand.
So that attraction is there.
Right, salary is all
So tension, of course, tension is there. But I think if you are enjoying the job, it's a good job.
Yeah,
otherwise, it's a real tension.
If you enjoy the job, then it's not actually a job.
It's not a job.
Yeah.
That's right. My son was telling me, if you are not passionate about the job, don't take it.
Don't take it.
Especially software, don't take it.
Right, of course, yeah.
Technical even maybe, like some, but if you are software, you should have to be passionate about the job.
Right.
All those words, okay, you have to continue being up to date.
Okay.
So this, the question is actually, why are they interested?
Now, why are they respectable? Why are they known as respectable?
And that is the world is actually admiring money.
Right.
It's all money and then glamour.
And money and glamour.
Yeah.
Right.
So
okay.
There was a time, girls waiting to get married to engineers. When in the marriage market they had a big value. But now it has gone down.
It's gone down.
Yeah. There was a time, maybe 15 years ago, it was a grand thing. So parents were worried, about getting them married as early as possible.
Right.
Because,
I get that.
Yeah. So that's the marriage market.
Okay, marriage market.
That's
Alright. So, we are a progressive society, why has it not understood that being an engineer or doctor is worthless in a country which has them in abundance? I mean, like, since society has forced a lot of engineers and doctors to be formed, like, there's so many people out there who are engineer doctors. Why doesn't it not, like, why don't society change and understand? See, we already have a lot of them. Why don't we have somebody new?
Because we are prejudiced against people working different and at different job. For example, working in the field, working in the hotels, working in other public places and so on.
Right.
They're ashamed that they're working.
Right.
The culture of work is worship.
Right.
So ever since they are in the 15, 16 years old, they should be able to earn, and the government and the society should provide some facilities for them to earn.
Right.
Then
So,
they will enjoy the job, then they will branch out to something.
right.
They enjoy that, they will start, building
So
up.
society is prejudiced to passionate jobs like other than engineering and doctor.
Doctors.
Right. Okay. That's understandable. Yeah. See, if in the coming future, doctor and engineer are removed from the picture, like society tells that okay, being a doctor and engineer is now becoming very mediocre. We need something else. What would be the best choice? What would be the best choice for India? Or should the person themselves have the freedom to choose their own profession?
Definitely. They should have it. I think at present now in India, or especially in Kerala,
Right.
you don't have, children don't have much choice.
Right.
It's the society, family, or the people like that
Right.
decide it.
They decide.
They just follow.
So, if what about other than doctor and engineer, what could be the choice?
Scientist,
Okay, scientist
linguistic
or
field,
linguistic.
then social work, MSW, social work field,
Right.
and teaching.
Teaching. Right. Okay, so that could be another this thing, replacement for engineering and doctor. Alright. So, according to this thing, what's it called, the freedom of education. Freedom of education is the right for parents to have their children educated in accordance with their religious and other views, allowing groups to be able to educate children without being impeded by the nation state. Should the right to education in the Constitution be revised as it leans upon religion as the deciding factor of choosing a field of study, which will lead to profession?
It's very difficult to say that,
Right.
because somehow the social background, the cultural background, and even racial background, is different in different parts of India.
Right.
So we would like to get along with people of the same.
Okay. Right.
And then second thing is, so many of the institutions are run by certain groups, trusts and so on,
Right.
which will have some affiliation to religion.
Some religion, right.
And then there's comparative, they say, okay, my schools are good,
Oh,
my
yeah.
society schools are good.
Right.
Yeah. So that preference, just to get them that channelized, it's not actually for, it's not because of prejudice.
Right.
So they are born and brought up in that area, in that culture, in that
Right.
religion, so they want to have something to do with it.
Ma'am, but isn't India a secular country? I mean, it shouldn't be like chosen by religion. Shouldn't be chosen by passion of job or profession.
It should be actually, but
Yeah.
it should be actually, you have to choose for example, nowadays people are changing. For example, people from Kerala are going to for example, Hyderabad or anything which studies Delhi for, MBA and other places for other. So now people are moving around.
Right.
Yeah, so there is a good improvement. Our youngsters are moving around all over the world, all over India also. So they are, after certain age, they are definitely doing well.
Right.
They don't bother about who runs the institution or who is behind it.
Right.
Religious background, I think the present generation is much better than the previous.
They're adapting.
They're adapting. They don't look at
Religion or
institution names or who is running it. It's
as long as they get their
it's the quality of education, it's the chance they get.
Okay.
Job, or maybe some institutions have their own names. Even an engineering college, you have a list of the number 1, number 2, number 3, like that. So, if you are studying in one of them, you will get a job easier. And if you are studying in a city school, your language will be better. Etiquette will be better. So they go to the best school or college or engineering institution.
Okay. All right. Alright, it's totally understandable that, like in current, like in the society, that your parents must give you consent to study a particular field. But why should there be the hand of religion on the choice of studies you want to do? Like, some parents say like only the Christians can be an engineer or a doctor, like they push them in that kind of a direction. And doesn't that remind you a bit of the caste system?
Yeah, definitely the caste plays a place, it has a place in our society.
Right.
But still, I think when it comes to job and all, I don't think we have that problem now.
Right.
Even for example, in our villages, people who were actually marginalized, their children and grandchildren are doing very well in different fields.
In different fields. They respect the religion.
No, there is no such thing.
No.
For example, just in front of one of my relation's house, was one blacksmith sitting there, just 1 cent of land.
Right.
And his children are all postgraduates now. PGs, and they are doing well. Because that man, of course, saw to it that they got education, of course, with all these subsidies and things like that.
Right.
So things are changing. Not that racial this thing is not there.
Okay. So
But I'm talking mostly on southern part of India.
Right. That's totally understandable. Mostly in southern part of India. So, is professions even now in society governed or controlled by the unstable force of the caste system?
There is a caste system.
There is a caste system. Like they do have a hand in the profession. Right.
Others are scared and some are even scared to choose the profession, so that they're scared of getting a job in a proper.
Right. They're scared of getting racially
they will be marginalized.
Right.
You may have heard about the former president of India, K.R. Narayanan. He was a first rank holder in the University College. He was one of his teachers told him go away because he was eligible for a job.
Right.
Which the other caste did not like. The better caste they did not. The upper caste did not like it. So one of the professors told him, run away from here and get a job somewhere else. So that was the situation, of course, at that time. Because the first rank holder was eligible for a job in the university at that time.
Alright.
So that happened, but now I think that's not
now it's pretty much people are standing up to it.
Standing up to it.
They cannot be pushed around by the caste.
No. Caste cannot be caste people. We cannot push them by caste.
Alright.
At present.
Should the freedom of education, since freedom of education allows children of till 14 to get free education, like that just covers up their most basic stages of education. Should the freedom of education be extended until 18 and not only till 14? Because when you hit 18, you're at least almost done with school. Should it be extended?
Anything that is free becomes is usually abused.
Yes, true, very true.
Very true. And when something is free, they don't give importance to it.
Yes.
But the students, once you pay the fees,
then there's some value
there's
to
some
it.
value, and they have involvement in it.
Right.
Of course, there are so many who cannot afford it, but the government should not, blindly, say everybody should be free until certain age. Make it free for girls, okay. But other than that, I think those who can pay, why can't they pay?
Right.
Because now people are not that badly affected by financial problem, because everybody has some work to do.
Right.
So I think make it pay, compulsory to pay something.
Oh,
those who can afford to pay.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's my point of view.
I can totally understand. Thank you. After the insightful interview, we decided to question the households for a public opinion. So, have you ever been forced to study a certain stream of education due to society's pressure?
See, education may only make a person, not for their aim of life. But parents are concerned. So even a child is born, they will say, okay, this boy or this girl should come to as a doctor or as an engineer. Say that decision is not proper. Then only say when is it actually you should create. So your idea that should be a very good citizen to the nation.
So
And that is the answer to the first one.
yeah, that's an ample answer to the first one. Yeah, that's it. So why do you think the two professions, engineer and doctor, is still forced on by society on the youth, even when some of them aren't good at science and have passion elsewhere?
See, doctors, engineers, two very important elements for the society. And so many requirements are there now. Say, as long as human beings are there, diseases will be there, and it is very essential to get it cured, and that can be done only by doctors. So doctors are essential. But now, actually, who makes the doctors? The parents, they want to make their kid and doctors.
Right.
And whether nobody thinks whether he is able,
Right.
or he is talented,
Right.
or he is good in it, or he is studying for the purpose of rendering services to the nation or to the society. That is not the idea behind. Say, to be a doctor, and it is for safety of their family life or their future life. That is it. So
Okay.
that conclusion is not right. So like engineers actually they are architect. Architect are the state or the country, no?
Yeah.
But so what is happening is they also find it in a profession for making money.
Right.
It's also not right. And that even say talented persons are there who should be made and who should be prepared for those one. And so just getting a son as an engineer or a doctor, and suppose he is not interested, so he is inefficient. So because of the money they can make the person for say as a professional, like engineer, doctor.
Right.
But he cannot be a good asset to the nation.
Right. Just for the profession, but he's not a
Ah.
good asset to the nation.
Correct, correct.
Right. According to you, do you feel that caste has a say upon what kind of profession you can take?
See, a profession means according to, say, when a child is there, when he is schooling up to, say, 8th, 9th, 10th, say it is good to study. What is the, say, the efficiency of the kid? What is their personal interest? And their interest, they should not have naturally, they are not at the age to decide a proper thing. But actually, this should the teachers and the parents, they should study their kids. Say what is way, in which way they are interested, and they find out the interested points and on those that aspects they should be guided. Whether it may be doctors or engineers or even other professions, not only doctors and engineers, so many other services are also there, no?
Right.
Say the government servants are there,
Right.
and they should also be expert persons.
Right.
Clear?
Yeah.
So that should be decided, and such decision should be made only after studying the caliber of the students,
Right.
their efficiency,
Their efficiency.
clear,
Right.
and their say, mentality to serve the nation.
Okay.
That is most important.
One can clearly see that equality of profession can only be found enforced when the teen fails to become a doctor or an engineer, that his or her talents lie somewhere else, or he or she will have to finish becoming an engineer or doctor, then with his or her funds must chase their own dreams. We can only expect and move ahead as students are slowly waking up and realizing that the only dream worth working or fighting for is his or her own dreams. Hence, equality of profession is slowly becoming a reality or a goal to give every dream a shot.